How's it going, guys? It's Ramzilla here. Today we're going to be talking about a movie called Maggie.
Mr. Vogel, I would normally release someone with this type of infection.
Alright, so let's get into the movie, shall we? Alright, let's get into the movie, shall we? This movie is about a zombie apocalypse where this girl runs off, she gets bitten, and then her dad comes, finds her in a hospital, takes her home, and he has a certain amount of time before she turns. So he has a choice to either find a cure, kill her, or try and save her somehow. Now, what I didn't like about this movie was that there was no backstory towards the zombie apocalypse. You're just kind of thrown into the story expecting to follow up with the short little clues they give you about the world. So, for example, when somebody turns, they have this place called quarantine, but they never get into the details about what quarantine really is. I know it should be self-explanatory, but it's really not. There could be a lot of many different meanings to what they mean with quarantine. Like, do they just keep them? Do they test them? Do they do studies on them? Do they kill them? What? So, that's one problem with the movie. Another thing is that this isn't one of those, like, zombies are all over the fucking place movies. It's like society still stands. There's still policemen going around. There's just some certain parts, I guess, in the world or certain parts in the states that are infected, but, you know, like I said, they have these quarantine places. It was kind of hard to follow up with all of this and just kind of create your own story, I guess, because they don't get into detail about what things really are, whether what quarantine is, how did the outbreak happen, do they have certain parts of the world sealed off, or certain states, certain cities, what? So that's what I didn't like about the movie. You're just expected to follow up with these events. Now, I do understand this is a low-budget film, but they could have still done the effort to do something about it. To maybe like a 5-minute scene where it's just like, this happened, this is quarantine, this is what we're doing now. Easy peasy. You don't need to go all CG, all high into effects and stuff like that. But that's just me. Now, getting back to the progression of the story, the doctors tell him that she has about 2 weeks before she completely turns, that he can either kill her, he can take her to quarantine, and that's it. In the trailer, they put save her, cure her, or kill her. Now, in the trailer, since they put the cure part, I expected to see like some type of, I don't know, I expected Arnold Schwarzenegger's character to look for a cure, you know. Maybe he was a scientist and he can look for a cure. I don't know. But that doesn't happen. There's no curing. It's just save her, like keep her locked up, or kill her. Now, I'm not going to get into the movie itself because it was really boring for me. And there's things that happen that are really irrelevant, I guess you could say, to the story. So I will be getting into the spoilers here because I'm going to be talking about the ending. So if you don't want to know what happens in the movie and you want to see it for yourself, I suggest you skip ahead now to find out what I rate this movie. If you don't plan on seeing it and you just want to know what happens, feel free to stay. So throughout the movie, things start getting worse for her. She starts smelling people as meat. She starts, like, her body starts decomposing, she loses a finger, stuff like that. So, at the end, when she finally turns, Arnold is sleeping and she goes up to him and kisses him. She goes to the roof and she jumps off. And that's the end of the movie. That's the problem I had with it, because if she's a zombie, how is she able to control her thoughts and not attack, Arnold? And if she's a zombie who has no control over her body, I guess you could say, other than the need to feed, how is it that she goes on the roof and decides to jump? So, that's the ending of the movie for you. I'm gonna give this movie a 1 out of 10 for trying, because, like I said, they don't go into the backstory of the zombie apocalypse. You're just kind of expected to know. You're thrown into this world you know nothing about. And it was a really boring movie. So if you haven't seen it, honestly, I would skip it. I wouldn't watch it at all. But, if you want to watch it, feel free to watch it. And let me know what you think about it in the comments below if you've already seen it. If you haven't seen it, then go and watch it and come back and then let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel where I will be coming up with more reviews. And once again, this is Ramzilla signing off.